Super Mario Bros. Wonder looks awesome. I can't wait to get my hands on this game, and one of the main reasons is because of the power-ups. Sure, we see stuff like the Fire Flower return, but also Mario can turn into an elephant and this rolling spiked ball. Is this even a power-up or just a Wonder Mode feature? I have no idea. Regardless, the fact is this is a new era for 2D Mario, and that means a bunch of new power-ups will probably be added. So in this video, I want to talk about 50 that I'd love to see. Some of these are completely new ideas, and some of them are power-ups from older games, but all of them are awesome in my opinion. So let's start it off with the winged cap. In this shot in the trailer, we see that you're able to use your hat to glide in certain sections. What if you get a wing cap power-up like from Super Mario 64, and then when you take your hat off to glide, you're able to press a button and flap the wings to kind of get a little boost upwards. Honestly, it could control kind of exactly like Flappy Bird, which would be hilarious. Next, we have Bull Mario. This shot of Mario as a rolling ball looks awesome, but I doubt you can change directions or anything. Turning into a bull and being able to stampede, shoot out forward at super fast speeds, breaking through bricks and enemies, but also being able to slow down and change directions could be super fun. For number 3, we see a Goomba power-up. This might actually be in the game. We see Blue Toad kind of as a Goomba in the key art. I'm still not sure what this is, but maybe you turn into a Goomba and then can jump on other Goombas and make a Goomba stack, kind of like in Super Mario Odyssey. For number 4, we have Caterpillar Mario. This green little caterpillar guy looks like your buddy throughout the adventure and seems like a pretty important piece of the puzzle. So what if you could turn into a caterpillar? Now, this power-up is actually really cool because, well, it's not that great. You could be small and fit into smaller things and also maybe stretchy, but you'd probably die in one hit and it wouldn't be that great for mobility. But the reason it's super cool is that it's a 2-stage power-up. It could lead into number 5 on this list, Butterfly Mario. Maybe the whole point of even getting the caterpillar power-up, because obviously it wouldn't be a great power-up, it would be more like a power down, but if you last a certain amount of time as Caterpillar Mario, then you transform into Butterfly Mario and can fly all around. That would be awesome. For number 6, we have Spider Mario. If there were webs in the background of levels, you could climb on them, kind of like those grates you see in the castle levels from the new Super Mario Bros. Game. Climbing on webs and just seeing a spider version of Mario would be ridiculous, but then for number 7, we also have Spider Mario, but this one behaves less like a spider and more like, well, Spider-Man. This would allow you to climb on walls and the ceiling, and then when you're on the ceiling, you press a button and Mario would drop down, making a web though. He would then be able to swing on said web like a vine, and it would basically be like a 2D version of Spider-Man, which would be so cool. For number 8, sticking with the animal theme, we have Firefly Mario. This would basically just make Mario glow a ton and make super dark levels a little bit more bearable. Maybe you could even shoot out orbs of light. And then coming in at number 9, we have the Ice Flower. We see the Fire Flower make a return, the Ice Flower has to be back as well. However, now I want to get into some other flowers that we've never seen. Number 10 would be a Water Flower. Maybe this is super effective against fire-based enemies. Or maybe since you're in the Flower Kingdom, there are some wilted flowers that you have to water in order to maybe get rewarded with a Wonder Seed or something. It just feels weird. We have a fire and ice flower, but never a water flower. And then continuing on the flower train, with number 11, we have the Electric Flower. This would shock enemies, leaving them open to be hit, but I don't think the electricity itself would kill the enemies. I like the idea of having an elemental spin on this game, so maybe like how the Water Flower could water certain plants, the Electric Flower, if you shoot it at like a machine or something, the machine would power up and then maybe start moving a platform that you have to jump on. For number 12, we have Plane Mario. I imagine this just like the plane in Super Mario Land, or more recently, the plane levels in Cuphead, where you can fly around and shoot. It's kind of an on-rails section. Flying a plane as Mario, or just Mario becoming a plane, would be a great callback to Super Mario Land, where he does that exact thing. For number 13, we have the Boot. This technically, I guess, isn't a power-up, but it's been in other 2D Marios, most recently Mario Maker. Goombas jump around in this boot, but if you take over, you get to move around in this boot. You can jump around, bounce around. It's pretty cool. But speaking of boots, why don't you kick that subscribe button, because only 5% of our viewers are actually subscribed. So if you're not subscribed and do enjoy the content, it really means a lot. It helps out the channel more than you could know. For number 14, we got the same sort of thing as the Boot, the Koopa car. This was a Mario Maker 2 exclusive in the 3D World style, but if you kill the Koopa that's within the car, you can take that thing and just start riding around. Seeing that in a 2D Mario game with levels designed by Nintendo, they could definitely get crazy with this. I remember in the Mario Maker 2 campaign, there were actually some fun levels with this, but letting Nintendo do it in its own 2D Mario game, this would be so much fun. All right, number 15, this is probably my favorite thing. I would absolutely turn into such a fanboy if this happened. I would love to see a Retro Flower. This would be like an 8-bit power-up that reverts Mario's tile set and moveset back into the Super Mario Bros. Style. So no wall jumps, maybe the screen won't let you scroll back or something like that, but to compensate, maybe he jumps super high or can interact with other 8-bit objects or something like that. Just seeing Mario kind of referenced in 8-bit would be so cool. I remember when I got the Super Mario 64 costume for the first time in Mario Odyssey, that was one of the coolest parts of playing that game. I love when Nintendo does this sort of thing. So yeah, this would definitely be my favorite power-up, even if it's not actually that powerful of a power-up. up, but let me know down in the comments below, what would be your retro flower? What would be like the power up you want to see more than anything else? There are so many ideas here. The creativity is endless, so drop a comment, let us know. Speaking of Mario Odyssey though, let's talk about a couple of captures from that game. Number 16, we have the uproot. This is probably the most unlikely in this list because we already see Mario stretch really long in this shot right here, and that's kind of what the uproot does, except a little bit different. The cool thing with the uproot though is that it's controlled. I don't think you can control what's happening here. It just seems to kind of be happening to everyone, Mario, the Goombas, and everything else. But if you were able to use an uproot in 2D, and actually there were 2D uproot sections in Mario Odyssey. There was one in the Wooded Kingdom and there was a sub area, so we know it works well already. It's super fun. For number 17, we have the Gushin, one of the most underrated captures in Mario Odyssey. These little guys have spheres of water that you can use as kind of a jetpack or an attack and refill when you land in water. Seeing this in 2D would be super fun. It would make water levels a lot more bearable. Number 18, last Mario Odyssey capture for now, we have the lava bubbles. Honestly, I don't love this power up, but there was one really cool use of it in the darker side of the moon. At the start of darker side, you have to use the lava bubble to platform from lava to lava, which is actually really unique because normally you're trying to avoid the lava. It was a really weird switch up from what we're used to, but I thought it was super cool and I'd love to see this in 2D. All right, we know that Elephant Mario's already in the game, but let's talk some other animals kind of in the same vein. Giraffe Mario would be hilarious. You could get real tall and maybe you could press a button to make the neck kind of like lean all the way down and then pop back up, allowing you to gain some extra height. For number 20, we have Chameleon Mario. Of course, this could be used as a stealth power-up. You press a button, blend in with the background, and then enemies won't attack you. But it could also be almost prop hunt-esque, where if you go over to like a question block and then activate the Chameleon's power-up while you're standing on top of it, maybe you turn into a question block and start moving around as a question block. That would be hilarious. For number 21, we have Kangaroo Mario. Mac actually came up with this idea on our podcast Nintendo Tonight. Our podcast will be linked in the description and at the end of this video. Definitely make sure you go check it out. There's some awesome stuff over there, but this power-up was really cool. Mac's idea is that not only can you hop around like a kangaroo, but you can also get another power-up and put it in your pouch. Now, granted, you can already store power-ups in this game and get them back with the A button, so maybe it would have to be something like a key or a bob-omb. But being able to store some sort of item and then retrieve it at a later date, whether it's a power-up or just like an item itself, that would be super cool. For number 22, we have Buff Mario. It's clear that pushing things is going to be somewhat of a new feature in this game. We see Daisy trying to push this pipe here. Buff Mario or Hulk Mario is just Mario who's been hitting the gym way too much. He'll be able to push big objects that normal Mario just is unfortunately too weak to do. Sorry, Mario. All right, now we're at number 23, and the next 10 power-ups are other Mario power-ups from either 2D or 3D games that I think have to be added at some point. Not necessarily have to as in they will, but have to as in I would really love to see them. Starting off with the cat suit. Of course, this originated in Super Mario 3D World, one of my favorite games of all time, but it was also in the 3D World style for Mario Maker 2, so it already exists in a 2D format. Not only that, it works really well. I would absolutely love to see it followed up by the propeller. The propeller mushroom is probably the most iconic new Super Mario Bros. Exclusive power-up, and I just love everything about it. I would love to see this return. Number 25, we have the Tanuki Leaf, and number 26, we have the Frog Suit. Both of those are pretty self-explanatory, but then number 27, we have the Super Ball Flower. You could get this in Mario Maker 2. It basically turned you into like a grayscale version of yourself, and then you could shoot these balls that would bounce all around. There were some custom levels where you had to line up some pretty tricky shots with these, bouncing off a wall, then maybe off a question block to hit a target or something. This would be super neat to see added. For number 28, we have the Penguin. The Penguin is a little weird because it's literally just the ice flower, but better. I'm not a huge fan of that because it kind of makes the ice flower just completely obsolete, but being able to do your little penguin slide is still so much fun that it's just worth it. We gotta get this in. Number 29, we have the Acorn from New Super Mario Bros. U. And number 30, we have the Hammer Bros suit, which you can get in Mario Maker, which allows you to shoot hammers just like Hammer Bros. For number 21, we have the Bullet Bill mask, which was added into an update for Mario Maker 2. This basically turns Mario into a bit of a Bullet Bill. You can just fly straight forward like a Bullet Bill can. And then number 32, the last of the old Mario power-ups, we have the Mega Mushroom. I'm not entirely sure how much purpose this will have because it seems like the elephant can kind of do what the Mega Mushroom can, given that we see it just demolish a Goomba at the end of the trailer. But the Mega Mushroom is iconic enough at this point. I mean, it's been in other Mario games such as Mario Kart Wii and I guess Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. Okay, maybe it shouldn't be in the game. For number 33, we have Tank Mario. This could definitely just be a Sherm from Super Mario Odyssey's New Donk Kingdom, but if they wanted to get really crazy, maybe this isn't even a power-up, but it's just a vehicle you can get in, and when playing multiplayer, one person gets into like the side of the tank to drive it, and one person gets into the top and can control the gun. That would be great for multiplayer and couch co-op. I can already imagine being like, no, go forward, no, shoot that. Trying to work together, it would be a blast. For the next two, number 34 and 35, we have two versions of FLUDD. One being the hover nozzle, nozzle and one being the spray nozzle. I didn't include the jet nozzle here because I just don't really know how much it would be used in a 2D Mario game, but the hover nozzle basically gives you a jetpack that can get refilled. Come to think of it, it's kind of like the Gushin, but the spray nozzle lets you shoot out water in any direction. It would definitely just be a better version of the water flower I mentioned before, but you would have to refill it within water occasionally because FLUDD eventually just runs out of water. Number 36, we have Demolition Mario. What if there was a version of Mario that could randomly pluck up Bob-ombs from the ground, or like form Bob-ombs, maybe pull them out of his bag or something? Being able to summon Bob-ombs at any time, kind of like how you can just like throw fire as Fire Mario, that would be super neat. And then for number 37, we have the Yoshi fruit. Again, this isn't technically, I guess, a power-up, like you wouldn't get it from a question mark box, but in New Super Mario Bros, if you make Yoshi eat like 8 of these apples, he just poops out a power-up. It's not that exciting. There's so much more potential here. What if there's like a fire fruit and then you have to eat it and then Yoshi can spit fire, or a flight fruit and then Yoshi eats that and gets wings? There's so much potential for creativity here with like stuff that Yoshi can eat and then changes his moveset, so I'd love to see them add that in. Number 38, this is actually probably my favorite Odyssey capture, the Pokio. I would love to see a Pokio in 2D. There's two different ways they could go about this. Maybe there could be a wall kind of in the background and you fling yourself off of that, or there's nothing in the background, but if there's a massive wall in front of you that you can't jump over, you stick your nose into it with the Pokio and keep flinging yourself up. That would be super neat too. For number 39, we have the Moai. This is the capture you get in Sand Kingdom that allows you to see invisible blocks. Maybe you would get a Moai power up and then have to memorize exactly where the invisible floating platforms are. Then you get out of the Moai power up, jump around, and hopefully remember where they are, or else maybe you fall to your death or something. All right, for number 40, this is the final Odyssey power up, but it's just too cool to not add. Give me T-Rex. We have Elephant Mario being able to become a dinosaur in 2D. This would be hilarious. All right, now we're at 41, and from 41 to 50, the final 10 power-ups, these are all from other Nintendo games. Not necessarily from the Mario franchise, but some of these definitely could be added. I could see them being added maybe in like a special world or something, but regardless if they're added or not, they're just too cool not to bring up. Starting off with the Master Sword. This was actually in Mario Maker, so it's at least feasible. Being able to swing the legendary sword itself, the sword that seals the darkness, that would be unbelievably neat. Maybe you could get the Hylian shield as well to defend against oncoming enemies if like Hammer Bros or Fire Bros are shooting stuff at you. From 42, we have Samus's Morph Ball from any Metroid game. This could kind of act as the blue shell power-up from New Super Mario Bros. DS, allowing you to kind of get into a shell and maybe break blocks, but you could also drop bombs with the press of a button. They could make a cave level that honestly feels like a Metroid level with this. For number 43, we have the Splatter Shot. Being able to ink out the level in front of you and then swim through it as an inkling would be insane. You could even ink and then swim up a wall. This would make traversal ridiculous. And then for number 44, we have the Poltergust from Luigi's Mansion. Out of all these like Nintendo themed power-ups, this is probably the one I want the most. I would just love to see Mario using the Poltergust, or maybe you could get it as like a Luigi exclusive upgrade if upgrades are in this game. We don't know. And then number 45, the Super Pickaxe from Captain Toad. In Captain Toad, the Super Pickaxe just turns you into an absolute demon. I believe you get a bit of a speed boost and you just destroy everything in your path. It would fit perfectly into 2D Mario. And then 46, something that wouldn't fit perfectly into 2D Mario, but is too cute not to add. I would love to see the fishing rod from Animal Crossing. You could actually just straight up fish in like the hub world for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Being able to just randomly fish in this game, and then maybe if you catch some cheap, you could sell them for purple coins and use those purple coins for new costumes or upgrades or whatever you spend them on. It obviously doesn't have to be an Animal Crossing specific fishing rod. That's just what came to mind. Number 47 is Pikmin. Being able to pick up Pikmin from the ground. Say that 5 times fast. Not only would this be a great mechanic, but it would cross-promote Pikmin 4, which comes out a couple months before this game. For number 48, we have Robot Mario. This could basically just turn him into what looks like Metal Mario, maybe with like red eyes, and this would basically just give him Rob's moveset from Super Smash Bros. You would have a jetpack, laser eyes. Terminator Mario would be disgusting. And now coming up at 49, these two final ones are not gonna happen, but I gotta give shoutouts to two of my favorite 2D platformers of all time. First up, we have Shovel Mario. Give Mario a shovel and maybe a helmet, and then boom, Shovel Knight level in this game. Pogo around on your shovel, kill enemies by jumping on them with the shovel or digging them with the shovel, dig up treasure. I love Shovel Knight. This would be so cool. And then number 50, imagine you get the Chaos Emeralds, and then Mario suddenly turns into the Blue Blur himself. What if there was like a Sonic style level in this game? That would be the coolest. Like that would be everyone's gaming nerd dreams would come true. That would be like it's impossible, but this would be ridiculously cool. Imagine running loops through like a Green Hill Zone-esque level as Mario. It's kind of funny because Sonic Superstars and Mario Wonder are both kind of completely innovative 2D Mario and Sonic games respectively, both coming out pretty similar to each other. I guess if it ever were to happen, this would probably be the time, right? Anyway, those are 50 new power-ups I'd love to see in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, but let me know down in the comments below. Like, please go down there right now and comment either what your favorite was from this video or something I didn't say that you think would be even cooler. I'm gonna be reading all the comments and hearting regarding what you guys leave down there. And after you drop a comment, click the button on screen right now to see what would happen if we gave every single character in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe new costumes. Also, click the Nintendo Tonight icon to get sent over to our podcast channel and drop a sub there. All right, see you guys.